When it comes to
Okay, everyone, we're trying something different today. This is Gordon Einstein, your Dubai resident crypto and blockchain attorney. I'm interviewing my buddy, Dani Topala. Hopefully I'm saying this last name correctly.
yes.
So, Dani, you are offering something very generous, which is you and I did an interview before. It was on Zoom. It was okay, but we both saw it and we're like, we can do better. So you were very nice and you offered the use of the Partner studio here in Dubai, and we're re-recording now because you and I are perfectionists. So thank you very much for initiating this. I don't think you're the first person I ever interviewed who said, "Let me use your studio," or offered me their studio. So good morning and thank you.
Good morning, Gordon.
I like how you take. I like how you take things to the next level. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super happy to be on your show. And yes, of course, you are welcome all the time. Poster is our home. When it comes to ICN Media, we shoot all our media products here. So
I see.
of course,
You got a
yes,
sign.
Yes,
It is.
ICN Talks is the podcast show. Hopefully, people know a little bit about it by now. And
They will after this show. If they probably already know, but if they don't know and they've been living underneath a rock, they'll know after this, right?
yes,
So everything's
indeed,
good.
Indeed.
Okay, so there's a lot to cover with you. You and I chatted outside for a few minutes, and I know you, but then I kind of got to know you better. Give us, oh gosh, what should we jump in? Let's talk about your mindset, because we'll get into the crypto and we'll get into media and all that other stuff. But you said something interesting, which is you used to have like a 6-week program that you'd run people through. You have a certain mindset, and you apply it to yourself, and you want to apply it to others. Can you explain what that's all about?
Yes, of course. This is one of my biggest passion, and I'm following this religiously. Like I'm always interested to discover what does it take to, like, what kind of mindset should I acquire to achieve certain levels, right? In business, in life, everything, because it's everything in there. Like you can have a poor mindset and be in a successful position because you can handle it. There is a certain way of thinking. There is a certain way of behaving to play the game at certain level, right? So first you need to prepare yourself for all this stage, and then it's just a matter of the execution, right? So with this thoughts in mind, I was always in a position to spend a lot of time and effort to have questioning everything. It's a must, I would say, when it comes to mindset development. Just ask yourself why things happen in this way or another way, right? And then you just position yourself in generating these thoughts internally, give you answer. One answer generates another question, and so on, right? So then you discover yourself in this mindset development journey, right?
So what are the core tenets, ideas, beliefs, or whatever that someone has if they're in the mindset that you're talking about?
So the foundation is always baked by your childhood experiences. Like everything is rooted there. Like 50% of your mindset in a very back end, you can think about this like an algorithm. This algorithm is made by half of it, 50%, is made by your parents' beliefs. You've been equipped with this 50% already because they installed their beliefs during your time spent with them, right, in your family daily basis.
Okay.
And then you come up at the starting point with some things which don't represent you. You start acting in a certain way, but that's not you, right? Like you literally feel that, okay, I did this, I reacted like this, but that's not me. I'm not comfortable with that reaction. So then the journey begins, right? Like when you internally, when you have this kind of self conversation, then the journey begins, and you already are one step ahead of anyone else who just don't care, you know. So that's the core foundation, like the algorithm being you became aware that is not you, what's happening is not you.
Okay, fair enough. So there's what's delivered to you when you're born and as you grow up, your inherited beliefs and worldview, and then there's the realization that those are a little bit arbitrary, and then they may not be you. I'm not sure they're not you, but in some cases they may not be you. Sometimes you might agree with what your parents said. You know, parents are smart sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So and then you interrogate those beliefs and maybe establish your own. But on the path to establishing your own, is there a specific set of beliefs or mindset that's useful that you teach, or is it simply figure it out for yourself, but just understand it's not necessarily your parents?
Of course, there is at one point it is an individual journey. Like, okay, you discover that this algorithm has been infected, right, with some others people beliefs. But then, of course, we reach a point where you are on your own. Like, okay, that's already the past. You became aware about these facts, but now let's focus on you, right? That's the next stage. But I want to mention that I'm not training this in
I know.
right now. This
We'll
one is my passion. I did it before. I had the program, 6-week program for people, but now I'm doing totally different things. That's
we'll
a
get there.
very early
We
stage
have
of
time,
my
but
journey
this is
with this
fascinating.
mindset part. Yeah, like, and then yes, coming back to your question, is this realization part where you start shifting. First of all, I will audit your daily basis lifestyle. Like, I will have a look on how do you act every single day, and that was the program, right? And then I will audit this current, whatever is called, daily basis management, and I will shift I will just take bad habits and replace them with good ones, right? I will just go and see, okay, you spent 1 hour on Instagram on daily basis. Okay, let's replace half an hour of that. Not everything from the beginning, like not black and white process, because it's not working like that. It's a gradually implementing process, right? And then that was the starting point. That's the way how you.
So before you started your 6-week program, what made you decide to start it?
First of all, I was. It was me. It was me who had this journey, internal journey of self discovery. Like, I was everything what I did for these people, I did it for myself first. Like, I was in this part where I was not happy with my reactions. Just giving an example, when it comes to money, right? You are about to invest $10,000, but in the next millisecond, a fear occurs in your mind. Like, what if I lose the money? What if this happen? What if the guy is calling me saying no because 1, 2, 3, and then you start generating this domino kind of effect, in your mind, wrong after wrong after wrong thoughts, like negative scenarios, and this is not okay. This is not, and then you go like, okay, why I'm doing this? Why I'm generating this kind of things? Because no one called me, like nothing happened. Why I'm like this? And it was like this. It was my case.
Okay.
And then I started educating myself in this way to acquire a different mindset, to install different beliefs based on who I am, what I want to achieve, my biggest picture in life. And then, of course, it's a long journey. Like I had endless white nights questioning everything around, and it's a very painful process, because then you need to go and discover that your mom did some stuff, your father did some stuff, but it's just them. Like you can't blame him, because they came also with a
Hey,
50% algorithm from their parents, which is agriculture people, if you want. Like it's is you need to, at one point, you see, you can just go and say, okay, that's the case right now, but from here I have the ropes. From this moment on, day one, I'm not that 50% algorithm anymore.
I think it's very easy to condemn your parents until you become a parent.
Yeah,
And then of course
yeah.
you're like, oh, that's what was going on.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're nervous about your kids later on saying, "Mom, Dad, why did you teach me this?" And then you're like, "Oh gosh, you can't win." But okay, so you went through this personal path of discovery, but it didn't quite answer my question, which is, what was the decision point where you finished or got to a certain point with your personal path and then decide to actually teach it? Because it's one thing to go through the process, and it's another thing to make the additional bold step of saying, I am going to turn this into a program and work with others. So what was that point?
The point, it was, we had these conversations on Saturday night with friends, like, and I was sharing my experiences. I was sharing my journey. I was sharing my thoughts, super open with them. And I at that time I was discovering those wrong patterns in all my friends' brain. Like they had literally, because in a very very back end, we are operating with sort of same brain, right? And if we take periods like industrial, whatever, agriculture, and then you see that these people, grandparents and then parents, they come in the society equipped with pretty much the same mindset, right? Because it was a pattern as a society level. You have to have your 9 to 5, take a loan, buy a house, get married, 2 kids, bye bye. That was literally your entire roadmap. And
So I'm going to be contrarian. Some of that actually sounds good. I don't know about the loan part, but the house part the house and the kids. I don't know,
yeah, but
maybe I'm conservative.
that's nothing. When it comes to individual achievements, there is nothing out there. It's just pure following a society pattern, being a mouse in the wheel, that you just follow the same society pattern. And where is you? There is no you there.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any value to tradition or carrying on something that was passed down from your parents?
Of course. I mean, like, I love my parents. Of course, they did their best, right? Like at one point, I realized that, okay, they had all this stuff, but they did their best. Like they love me. They treat me well. They provide us whatever they could, right?
Sure.
That's the reality. But then, of course, they did mistakes, but not at the level that they were about it, right? So you need to realize at one point that you will do maybe some, not the same mistakes, but different
You'll
ones
do
at
brand new
different level.
mistakes. Yeah.
You do your own mistakes versus your child's, right? So it's just a matter of realizing these facts and move forward. And that was the moment, like when I realized that we literally have a problem with these patterns. I discovered this need that, and a lot of people like, Dani, please share more this. I want, because whatever you tell me, like, I resonate so much. This is exactly what's going on.
That's
I
great.
feel exactly in this way. Like, why do I feel like, like, and I had this feedback, and then I said, okay, you know what? Instead of keep repeating this all the time in different places, just take this, and you have then you have a certain idea.
Productize it, right?
Yeah.
So now you're not doing this now. What
No,
was
no,
what was
no.
the point when you said, okay, enough? It was great, but now I'm going to do something new. When was that decision? Or what
That
happened?
decision, it what happened. Different business opportunities, like, because what's the beauty behind this? Once you acquire this mindset, you can go and operate with this mindset at any scale you want, and then you just have this sort of abilities to create and discover the right people and create business opportunities with them. But you are already equipped with the right skills and the right way of thinking. If that guy, potentially your partner, for example, right? You text him and he didn't reply to you. You get a scene, right? You don't take this personal anymore. You don't think, okay, like, he saw the message, he didn't reply, what's going on, what is this, he doesn't like me, blah, blah. Now, like, all this carousel of negative thinking. Then you are said, okay, the guy is busy, maybe he's traveling, maybe he's during the flight, maybe has business meetings, whatever. He'll reply after 3 days. That's 99% of the time. Like, people are super busy. Like, you are not their universe to reply to you in next minute, right? Just stay there, do your things. Everything will happen at the right moment, right? So then your reactions will be according to the right development, right? You don't do mistakes anymore, because that's the point. Like, if you have a wrong mindset, you interpretate in wrongly this kind of situations, then that guy might answer to you after 3 days, apologize, I've been doing 1, 2, 3. And then if you have wrong mindset, you just don't reply because you want to show him the same thing, right? Like,
Right.
of course, I will show you now 2 weeks not replying, right? Because
Yeah, sounds really healthy.
so that's the problem, right? And then, of course, the opportunity is just gone because no one will stay there.
I'll give you my personal take on what you just
Please,
said,
yeah.
which is that specific situation. I was as you were speaking, I was thinking to myself that I have a certain framework, which is if I'm married now, but like if I'm trying to get to know a girl and I'm not getting a good response, or I'm trying to do a business deal and not getting a good response, or if I'm trying to make a friend with someone and not getting a good response, I look at everything almost like it's a function in a mathematical sense. Like there's a black box, and depending on the inputs you put into that box, you get out a certain output. So the black box could be like, the girl's this good looking or this popular or this. If she's not responding to my overtures, I don't get angry. I'm not like, oh, she's terrible. Oh, how dare you? I'm insulted. Right? It's more like, okay, I need to work on changing the inputs into that function, because at some point when the inputs to that function are correct, I'll get a positive response. If I'm trying to get someone on my show and they're blowing me off, that happens even now. Okay. I'll change the inputs. I'll triple or quadruple or 10x my number of subscribers. And then it's funny how the conversation changes, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's busy, everyone's distracted, but I look at it like, if you take responsibility for your universe and you understand that other people are self-interest calculating machines, it's your job to change the circumstance. You negotiate it through action.
Yes.
And later on a little bit through words, but you're negotiating through positioning yourself and through actions, which changes other people's internal calculations so that they will do what you want. So to take the example you just said, right?
In most cases, the rejections are backed by two things. Not now and not in this way. That's it. Like literally, if you want to put everything in one place, for these two reasons. Not now, just come back after 1 month or whatever, and not in this way, just fine-tuning a little bit.
Well, here, let me do an extreme example. Someone is at his parents' funeral, right? And someone calls with a $10 business deal that they have to handle right now. Are they going to leave the funeral? Or are they going to be like, no, it's okay?
Yeah.
Right? Someone calls and they say, I have $1 billion business deal. Are they going to leave the funeral?
I won't, but it depends.
Some people would.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, are you married? Do you have kids? You would.
Yes.
You wouldn't leave the funeral for $1 billion?
No, of course not.
Okay, well, you have a good relationship with your parents. I love my mom. I probably wouldn't leave either, but I'd be like, oh, come on, mom. Actually, I'd send a message up north and ask, Allah's permission.
And I don't want to experience that.
No, but I mean,
don't want to send
look,
that
it's
message.
an example that came to mind.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're having dinner with your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's your weekly dinner. Okay, and you have a thing where you turn off your phone or you don't reply to calls. Okay, and someone sends you a message saying, I got a $10 deal, but you need to answer right now. Of course, you're not going to break the dinner, right? You're going to stay in the dinner. You'll be like, I don't need that $10. But if you get a message during dinner, I'll use a less crazy example than a funeral.
Yeah.
Okay, if you get a message during dinner that's saying you have a $1 billion deal, but you just have to answer right now, you're gonna go, honey, I know our rule.
Yeah, of course.
But it's $1 billion. Let's go. And you know what? She'll be fine with it if she's a good wife.
Yeah.
She'll be like, honey, why are you talking to me? Go get that $1 billion. Bring home the bread to mama.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So what changed there? It's the exact same circumstances, except the one input changed, and it went through the function and produced a different result. So even when they say not now or not in this way, they don't really mean not now. They mean not with this.
Not in this way. Yeah.
Not with this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe me, if you came to them with $1 billion, they'd say yes now.
Yeah.
Right. So I think. Sorry, I know it's your show, but I feel like sharing because you got my mind churning. You said some really interesting things.
It's my show and your show.
Well, it's your show in that you got me thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think it's good to take personal responsibility, and maybe a lot of the algorithms we get from our parents are the belief that this is the way the world is. Yeah. It's not the way the world is. The world is an ever evolving and changing thing, and we have a lot of influence over how it evolves and changes, and we need to take responsibility for that stuff. So we don't have to use your examples. You don't necessarily have to get the loan and get the house and get the kids and everything else. You might want to. So you were doing this program. People were asking you, for your wisdom and your algorithm and everything else. But then business opportunities came because you're applying the algorithm yourself. So again, I'm not sure I quite got the answer. What was the exact moment, or when did your function take you from doing this program until saying it's enough, I want to do this? What was the moment when you decided to move on to something else?
Well, that moment, it was when I discovered the e-commerce opportunity. And
yes.
It was, yeah, of course, because at the end, it's a money-wise decision, right? You can, you can scale it at a very nice point, all these mindset programs and self-development, but there are way bigger opportunities out there. And as I mentioned, like once you acquire the right mindset, like the foundation is so strong, you can literally build towers like endless.
You can get cool logos and invite people to your podcast
exactly.
studio.
You see what this mindset brought me.
Yeah.
Like literally, if I want to, you want me to talk a little bit about my journey.
Sure, please.
That's just not far than 6 years ago. I was in retail, working on Dubai Mall as a sales executive. This is my journey in the UAE. So when I came here,
you've really done well.
Yes,
6 years is yesterday.
Yes, indeed. And I'm not. I don't want to. Highlight this. Is just a matter of people to understand that once you acquire the right mindset, you can go with this and operate at totally different scale that at one point you cannot imagine. Like I was in the shop there selling goods for these people in retail. And I discovered this e-commerce opportunity, selling physical products from.
How did you discover it? What happened?
I bought a course, an online course. Like, this is another little story. Like,
Please.
it was $1,500 online course. I didn't know the guy. I know nothing, right? I saw a Facebook post for one of my friends talking about this, and then I was in break during the shift, and I check immediately 1, 2, 3 stuff, like who is this guy, the group, the course, and I discover, okay, it's $1,500. Okay, $1,500. That time it was expensive money, not very expensive, but still.
It's something.
And then I just bought it, like plain decision. I bought it. I knew internally that this is the opportunity I was waiting for, because obviously I didn't come to Dubai to stay in retail. So when I saw this, I just bought it.
That's a great quote, by the way. I didn't come to Dubai to stay in retail.
Yes.
I like that. All right,
Shout out to retail. It's a big industry, but
it's not for you.
It's not. Yeah,
it was just your launch pad.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so go ahead.
So then I just bought the course. I did the course for 4 months. I learned a lot of things. I spent a lot of time. I launched first products for brands. I lost everything, and then I understood that because I was part of this mastermind and this group with people actually doing the same thing, I knew that is not the vehicle. The business is working. The business model is legit. It's just me who didn't get it. So then what I did, I just locked myself in-house for the next 18 months.
Cool.
I became obsessed. Like, I bought all the online Amazon courses. Like, if this was a guy in top of the mountains in Guadalajara or whatever,
why not?
I will buy his course. Like, I was literally like in position to know a lot of aspects, a lot of details, I became an expert.
Great.
And then at one point I had a guy who was a bigger seller, like way bigger than me, doing 6 figures monthly basis. And then he saw me. I gave him an information at one point. I saved him $25,000, like literally from chatting. And he said, like, how much you are selling, where you are? So, like, I'm just having a product, but I'm struggling, 1, 2, 3. Say, listen, if you are in this position to give me this kind of information and you are not there yet, just give me 3 products that you are, like, imagine you have all the money you need. Just show me 3 products that you are going to launch. And then if everything looks good, we partner. And I give him 5 products, like what I'm considering for the next 6 months and why and everything. I did reports. And he said, I want all of them. Let's partner. So I partnered with him and he became my partner. It was during the pandemic time because I came in 2014. I spent 3 years in retail. 17, I was in this learning stage with the course.
Sure.
18, I launched the first one. I lost all the money, around $30,000. And then 18 months in-house, locked full. Pandemic came, and the pandemic, I took a decision where I paid the supplier 6 figures as an inventory when everyone else was blocked. I had an army in China by that time, and this manager was a real, like, shout out to him wherever I will meet him, absolutely super professional guy. He told me, Dani, listen, if you send me the wire transfer tonight, I'll put the inventory on the last boat that will leave China right now. So I did this.
That's a lot of trust.
That's a lot of trust.
And it sounds like a scam that would make people nervous.
No, I was already in a business relationship with him because I was, already like 1 year or something in the business. But it was super risky because at any point the port can be blocked, which was the case with all other transportation logistics. but it was successful, and my inventory reached the Amazon warehouses, and I was able to triple the prices because I was
Here, you get a fist bump.
having a inventory, and when you have huge inventory, you are you can set the stage, you can play with prices because no one beats you, and all other sellers who had all these shipments blocked, they were running out of stock, and then all the demand will split at the beginning in 10 guys, then in 8, then in 7, then in 6. If you still have inventory, at one point I was selling 5x. Like these products were in a normal way, I was selling like $40, and I ended up selling like 200.
Amazing.
Like, and I did insanely well, and then rest is history. Like I did 2 7-figure exits after that, and like
Mashallah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
fantastic.
that was the moment when I understood
I
that.
I like that you locked yourself away for 18 months. You sound like me trying to learn German. It's like, sometimes you need to fail in order to get really angry and motivated, or at least I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt angry, but
Yes, of course. I became like, I was super nervous because this is very powerful. You have the confirmation. You know that that's working. And it's just you who didn't get it. You need to adjust yourself. And I was, okay, I'm not there yet. I didn't, and I paid the coach, by the way. Like
by the way, this is a beautiful thought. You didn't say the course, just to repeat it back, you didn't say the course didn't work, your $1,500 course. You didn't say the model was broken, right? You didn't wave your finger at something. You looked right in the mirror and you said, it's me. You took responsibility for it and you adjusted. A lot of people would have given up, right?
Yes.
So I think this is part of the mindset you're talking about.
Of course.
Now, let me ask a slightly tricky question, though. Sometimes it is the course. Sometimes the business model isn't right. Business models aren't right all the time. So I very much appreciate the taking responsibility point of view, but sometimes it really is an external factor. How do you differentiate?
You need to have always around you people smarter than you in that field.
Okay, good
people
answer.
who are like 2 steps ahead, and they will tell you if it is an internal issue or an external issue. Whatever you want to achieve, they've been there. They've been in your shoes way before you, so they know. They already crossed the forest, right? You're just going all the time left. They will tell you, bro, this is internal. You're seeing this forest with different lenses. Just come here, okay? But then if it's external, they will tell you, okay, this is not okay. This market is not for you or whatever, right? But you need these people. When I paid the coach, like it was unbelievable expensive money for me. It was $5,000. Like imagine, like
one time or per month or
no, it was like just audit my products and tell me what I did wrong when I lost the first
sorry,
event.
this is fascinating. How did you how did you know to get a coach, and how did you find the coach?
I was part of these masterminds with Amazon sellers.
Okay.
And there were people who are like super successful sellers on Amazon. I met guys, they are doing 10 mil per month, like Chinese guys, super smart and powerful. And if you have a chance to pay these guys, if they want to give you access, because I know guys, they are willing to pay, doesn't matter, just to have access to your brain at one point.
I mean, these guys don't need the money.
No, it's not the money.
$5,000.
No,
if they're
no,
making
no.
10 million a month,
Yeah.
your 5,000 is.
It was not the guy who was doing 10 mil per month. This guy was doing around 1.5 or something, but still.
So he doesn't need your $5,000.
Yeah. No, it's not, of course it's a business. Like he had in place a certain system that will guide you through. It was one session 101 with him for 2 hours, actually 2 times. And then it's just a matter of you being involved in his program, which runs smoothly behind the scenes. He doesn't need to be there.
So you're in a mastermind
group.
group.
So it's very scalable stuff. Like he's charging you $5,000, but he can do that with 100 people at once. Like super smart.
Did this person tell you, Dani, it's not the program, it's you.
Exactly.
He told you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you to answer my original question, you had a trusted expert setting you straight, basically.
Yes.
Saying, look, what you're doing is right. You need to work on you. And then that you had the humility and the confidence, self-confidence, or ego and lack of ego, we can say, or to hear what he's saying, accept it, and act on it. That's a big deal. That's maybe a little tough.
People have this evaluation of this quote, whatever it takes, in a very light way.
Oof, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So
they don't really know what it means.
Whatever it takes, it is whatever it takes. Like, you look in the mirror, you feel dumb. Move. Like, don't stay there. Like, you can have dumb moments. That not means you are dumb. That's a big difference.
Yes.
We can have low points in our lives when, okay, you are not inspired, you were, influenced by certain things, and you did something which is not aligned with your standards, right? But you just did it. I don't know, in a way or another. But that's just a moment. Okay, don't let that moment to represent you. Okay, don't put a stamp behind that moment. Just leave it there. It's a wave in the ocean. Bye bye. No need to think about it.
Super.
And whatever it takes it's exactly this. Like, it really doesn't matter. The only thing what matters is the end result. I don't care in business, for example. I don't care about sorries. I don't care about apologies. I don't care about anything. Like, I don't care. For example, my guys, I'm giving you a task, right? I'm giving you 2 weeks. Bro, I don't care if you have to pick up your kids. You need to plan your dental. I don't want to receive messages, I'll be late 20 minutes because one girl at the stoplight had the signal right and she made left, or, like, I don't want to hear this. Like, just give me the end result. That's why. Let's keep the customers happy. Bye-bye. That's the main job. Like, I don't care. You want to work from Starbucks, work from Starbucks. You want to work 1 hour per day and then want to go first 7 days on vacation and work the rest. I don't care. Like, I'm giving you the end result. I want you to deliver this. That's it.
Beautiful. So tell me the rest of your e-commerce journey. What happened after you got this intervention?
So in the process of exiting the e-commerce business, I started investing in crypto. It was pure fun. I heard about Bitcoin way before, but
didn't we all? Okay, yes.
I didn't take any action. And then around 2020, like, of course, the pandemic brought crypto industry at different levels and came in my attention again. And I saw that, okay, like, literally now I need to do something, because I know Bitcoin since very early stages. I read an article in a financial newspaper about one Japanese guy who's creating a virtual coin, blah, 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 like back to 2009, 10, like super early, yeah.
Supposedly
and
Japanese.
I was at a bar with my friends. I was literally, convince them that this is the future and this is, like, the world is going in this direction. It will be no money, like everything will be digital. Like, I was,
powerful,
smashing my chest with this narrative, but then I just go to sleep like an idiot. Okay, I didn't take any action.
It's okay.
Like, with this huge belief, installed, and you don't take any action, like literally nothing. Anyway, it's just a matter of
everyone says that, but
wrong mindset.
And of course we all go back like, if only we knew. But it's like, how do you know? There were digital currencies before, and there's a million things going on. It's like, some people knew, but it's not inherently obvious.
And it's not about the like coming to our industry right now in the crypto space where you are. It's not about your entry point. It's about how you handle the entry point. Because I have friends, they bought Bitcoin less than $100, less than $50. Like, even they were like getting rewards in Bitcoin. But
What happened
ask
then?
me, like they sold it like after 5x, 10x, super happy, amazing, But if you
And now
look
they're
at
dead
now,
inside.
like that's different scenario, right? So it's not about the entry point. It's about how you handle. It's way harder to manage a successful portfolio than being negative. When you are negative, okay, what can go wrong? Can go wrong another 20%. Okay, you are already 70% minus. It go another 15%, won't change anything pretty much, right? But when you have literally 6 figures at your fingerprint in 2 taps, you can cash out money that you can spend in 5 years. That's not easy to handle. Like you wake up in the morning and see another 10%, another 20K, another 30K, right? So that's the
I look
different
forward
level.
to that. I look forward to Bitcoin getting out of the $60,000 zone and
That's a different level
doing what it's supposed to be doing.
That's also mindset. That you need to acquire skills in like financial. You need to educate yourself. Have education in finance. You need to totally different things. Every single stage in your life requires a different you. You can't
Nice.
operate.
Good quote.
Yeah, you can't operate when you made $1,000 per month. You can't come with that Gordon closing $1 billion deal. It's just not possible. The Gordon should be a different Gordon. A Gordon that first of all has $1 billion mindset. You can't close $1 billion deal with $10,000 mindset. It's just impossible.
Nice.
It's not working like that.
See, this is good, man. I'm gonna watch this video myself and get inspired because I'm inspired now.
Well, it's a huge compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you. Well, it's true. And
Yeah, so
actually, let me relate. You made a very generous offer when we were in the hallway there before the start, and I know I'll say it in here just for the viewers because I think it shows your mindset. So everyone watching, I'm breaking the fourth wall here, but we're sitting in the hall, and you made a very nice offer, which I understand correctly. You're gonna sponsor me to do 10 episodes here.
that's true.
And just kind of take care of it and get a logo set up and everything else. And it's sort of an open-minded sort of offer. Yes, there's mutual benefit in here. I mean, we're going to put the media, I imagine, on ICN and pump it there too. And so we both benefit, but it's like a creative offer without getting sticky, without like, negotiating hard. It's just like here, because it's just like open. And I think that shows a certain mindset. I've been very lucky in Dubai. I've met a few people like this, and you're one of them apparently, who's just kind of like, let's just start collaborating, and good things will happen.
Well, I'm a marketer. This is my job, to make no-brainer offers.
Wow. My AI, my read.ai, I'm giving them a plug, will summarize this and extract good quotes, and we'll have a book of your quotes. Okay.
You're too generous.
Well,
Thank you very much.
It's okay. Read AI will be generous. Now, this is good. Yeah, it's smart. Actually, I'll give a shout out to one of the people I'm collaborating with on the Tech Tuesdays thing. Is a gentleman named Karam, good guy, and he approached me. He said, "Look, I want to give you venues. I want to provide you with a budget because I want to be." I like what you're doing, and I want to be in your world and kind of like experiencing these people that you're with. So we combined forces. And when he offered it, I was like, this guy's freaking smart. Okay, because he sees the bigger picture. He's not just, he's not, you're right. I think what made me think of this is like, the $1,000 brain or the $10,000 brain wouldn't make that offer. Okay, because they're so worried about next day's results. Right, they're so worried about this dirham or this dollar, and am I up or down like X, right? If you got the $1 billion mindset, I don't know if I had the $1 billion mindset. I think I had the million or a few $1 million mindset. If you had the $1 billion mindset, you're making big moves in an efficient way.
You have different ingredients.
Yeah, it's true. It's beautiful, actually.
Yeah. You in this journey on becoming a billionaire, you just go to the store, which is your mindset, and buy different ingredients. You go and buy from cheap bread, then you go buy organic pasta. From, I don't know, crab sauce, then you go and buy a real tomato, organic one, farm, a grass-fed, whatever, right?
Sure. Okay.
And then, of course, your dinner will have a totally different taste. And once you operate with different ingredients, your mind can generate different thoughts. And that's the genesis of every single opportunity. Your mind generating thoughts. Like, you have different ingredients, now I can cover and I can understand way bigger pictures, and I can see where I can go with Gordon. I don't care about expenses in the next 2 months. I don't think here, right? I just
like that.
now my vision is way farther. So when your vision is farther, I had here on the show Yatsu from Animoca. I interviewed him
Oh, wow,
twice.
that's exciting.
A big honor for me. This guy,
I think you will interview him at the Fireside Chat at Tech Tuesdays and be our featured interviewer. Just say yes.
Yeah.
Just think like you're going there. Just say yes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, you will be on stage at this event. There will be 200
Yeah.
people watching you.
Yeah.
There'll be the best people. You'll do a great job, and I'll be in the audience and I'll introduce you.
Yeah.
Okay, just say yes.
So the thing is, his mindset is in thinking business moves for the next 10 to 15 years.
Nice.
Imagine when you have builders, visionary founders like this, that's $1 billion mindset. Like, he can go with this mind, is accompanied by an asset in every single situation that he can provide value. And that's massive. Like,
Nice.
You are literally a valuable input at any scenario.
It's good to be around people like this.
Of course.
Good to be around people like you. Okay, so e-commerce wrapped down.
Yeah.
You discovered crypto. You discovered Bitcoin. You know, I didn't buy a billion. Oh well.
Yeah.
And then let's kind of lead into ICN and
And
the present.
then, of course, it was this individual journey of investments. I was running after crypto gaming projects on these launchpads platforms, spending 15 hours a day running after these allocations. And
What does that mean? Like trying to get the tokens?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
literally, you are buying tires on that launchpads, which allows you to invest certain amounts based on your staking.
Okay.
Like, if you block $10,000, your allocation will be around, I don't know, $80, whatever.
Okay.
It's small stuff. But then if you buy just the highest tire, for example, which is, it might be 6-figure tire, right? Then your allocation goes to thousands of dollars,
Okay.
which is
Meaningful, maybe.
Yeah, it might be in a different position in terms of profit, right? But you need to stay there. You need, because a lot of stuff are just on the spot, first come, first serve, stuff like that. So you need to stay there with your fingers on the keyboard.
Sure.
And it was not scalable. Like, again, because I came from this e-commerce business, which, by the way, in this journey of Amazon business, I acquired so much knowledge in terms of business and management and SOPs and handling teams, and like, I literally became like a future tech soldier.
Future tech soldier.
Yeah, like,
okay, nice.
Super ready.
You
Right?
came in a Jean-Claude Van Damme cyborg.
Like, coming from one knife, like, then I was equipped with totally different skills, and that helped me a lot. Like, when I came and start building in the crypto space, it was massive. Like, this knowledge acquired in this journey of e-commerce was massive. I really felt that. Like, I
That's great. You
in
had your
certain
boot camp,
situations,
right?
I took exactly the right decision at the right point, right timing, everything. Like, it was super smooth. And then I saw, okay, like, this is good right now. Okay, and then I said, okay, it's not scalable. It's like what I'm doing. I'm spending 10 hours per day. Like it is not okay. You can catch nice bets or something, which was the case. I caught some very nice projects. I did very, very well. And then that was the moment when I decided to build. Like I said, okay, if this is the case in this field of crypto in industry, and of course a lot of education on the back end, I came with the same pattern. I start spending a lot of nights reading, educating myself, understanding certain things, because you want to build. When you want to build in certain markets, you need to know everything, whatever it takes, right? So then you go and follow the same process. And I reached a point where I founded Iron Capital, which it was...
when was
and
that?
it is still like an exclusive collection of investors. We are a bunch of investors inside who are managing this fund. And we are doing investments in gaming, AI, of course, right now, but we started with gaming and still a fan of it. I believe so much in this industry. I think will be one of the...
Sorry, when did you start Iron Capital?
2022 January. It was the January.
Okay, so kind of recent. And then
because I caught some nice bets in 2021, that journey. I say, okay, amazing. But then when I literally started to implement the entire process of building Iron Capital, it was 2022, when actually the bear market hit.
Well, of course.
But that's huge. Like when I look back in the days right now, that was again another perfect moment to build, because it was bear market coming, and I spent 1 year to find, for example, only to find the right people, to be on the same page, thinking in the same way, pulling the same ropes. Like it's not easy to share your insights, your personal vision with someone, and they will go like, yeah, I want. Okay, at one point sounds good, but the execution still has to match, right? The initial thoughts. It's not like only at the starting point we agree, and then when it comes to decision, you say left, I say right, and so it has to be this evaluation on point, and it's not overnight. It's not for a week. It takes time, a lot of time.
Understood.
So that was Iron Capital. And then the journey comes in a place where I said, okay, this is a totally different field, because entrepreneurship is one thing, but to be an investor is a totally different game. So I need to develop another Dani. I need to create, first of all, this next version, next best version, which is an investor, which is an upgrade of the entrepreneur. Now you don't...
Wow, I love this. You had a goal, you had a vision. You said the person I am can have this vision, but the person who can achieve this vision is a different person. I'm going to now become this person so I can achieve this vision.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I said, I met people, I met investors, and I discovered the brain behind these funds, right? The way how they manage successfully a fund, an investment portfolio. I saw, oh my God, I was a kid in a chocolate factory, like I was like literally blown my... Totally different field than e-commerce. It's pretty much $1 million business is pretty much having, of course, a product with a real audience behind which you can generate revenue from it, but it's a lot of things when it comes to SOPs. And when it comes system in place to have everything smooth, operational customer service, for example, is a huge one. But that's pretty much, that's $1 million. It's not that hard, but it's very hard anyway. But if you have certain things
it's simple,
in place,
but not... it's simple, but not easy.
Yeah, sort of. So, but then when it comes to investments, it's totally different. So that was the moment when I said, yes, now it's clear. I want to stay here for the rest of my life even.
Well, you don't know that, but at least for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like for a solid period of time, definitely I'll be here. So, yeah.
And what's the interplay between Iron Capital and ICN Talks in
Just
your media?
investments in from the Iron Capital side. Talking to founders on weekly basis, projects, do the DD. Analyze the team, do all these things. I did it so many times, hundreds of times, because of course you talk with hundreds projects, but you end up investing in maybe 2 or 3. Maybe, yeah. And when you are at the beginning, when you are a beginner in this, everything looks good, because you haven't acquired the right tools to evaluate the project from all angles, right? Because it is what it is. It's a journey. So then everything looks good because you don't have all the scans in place. Once I became a better investor, of course I did crap investments. That's part of the journey. But once I became a better investor, then this percentage of investments have drastically decreased, because I said, okay, everything looks good, but this is not okay. And in 1 year will be a huge problem, bye-bye. So I was able to anticipate these bottlenecks, and if I can't remove them, I will just be out.
So when you were doing your e-commerce, you had a mastermind group and your coaches, you even had coaches you paid. Do you have a mastermind group, or did you have a mastermind group for the investment world? Did you have a coach you paid, or how did you, same questions before. There's you figuring it out, but there's also sometimes that expert external opinion that lets you know if you're on the right track or not. Did you have anything like that when you put on your investor hat?
No, in the investment field, I just attended, and I'm still doing it, all possible events and talking to high-level individuals, which I think they are, and trying to access their ecosystem, access their way of operating, and understand what does it take to do very successful investments. So that was this move. It was the move that actually put me in position to absorb all this information just from networking. And this was the moment when I understood I need to start such a business move, an instrument that will allow me to connect with these high-level individuals. Because there is a big difference in me sending you an email, hey, I'm Dani, let's talk about what, where, you being successful CEO or the founder,
and then
right?
you can have them on the show.
Versus, we are ICN Media, we are running this, podcast media production talk show. I'll put you in a high level of production, 4K. You see how we are doing here, and then that's a totally different scenario, right? We take these individuals, we put them out there in 9 platforms right now, in high level production content, and that
easy sell.
Has changed the game. Yeah.
Well, what did you say about marketing? It's
no-brainer offers.
Yeah, no-brainer offers. It's like, okay, here.
So that was another best next move which I did, and I encourage everyone in the space to start a podcast. And I'm super honest with this, and I'm an introvert. I'm not the guy who's on the stage all the day.
Me too, believe it or not. I just simulate very well.
Yes, and it was not easy. When I was here at this table for the first time, and the guy said 3, 2, 1, we start. My mind was like, what are you doing? Why you are doing this? Stay in your investments. All this.
Your monkey
you cannot
brain.
imagine. Yeah. And then, but in the same time, I'm experienced enough to understand that I need to start when I'm not ready, and I become better during the process. Because if you just wait to be ready, you start way too late and your process is too slow. So then you just need to pay the price, whatever it takes, and just do it. Action beats everything.
Action does beat everything. I like that. So I was saying my wife gets sick of it because I keep on repeating it. But if you know martial arts, so it's kind of a rhetorical question. What's the hardest belt in martial arts?
You tell me.
Well, everyone would normally say a black belt.
Okay.
Okay, but I say a white belt, which is the first one. Do you know why?
Is the hardest part.
Yeah, why is a white belt the hardest belt? The first one.
No skills, maybe.
Because you have to start. 99.9% of people don't even start.
Yeah.
To actually start is very rare. Okay, now the highest belt is a black belt. What is a black belt? A black belt is just a white belt who never gave up.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is I'm going to teach my kids this, you know, and the people I'm working with on the events, everything else. I'm like, you know, just it doesn't need to be perfect. You just, to your point, take action. Because if you wait for perfection, you're right. It's too late and it's too slow.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, someone else who's less intelligent than you and didn't understand all the risk started, and now they're way ahead of you.
Absolutely.
You know, on the yacht drinking champagne, and meanwhile you're making your plan. It's like,
and when it comes to, because we were in investing, right? I'm giving you $10,000 is way harder to bring me in a week or so 11,000 versus I'll give you 10 million, bring me 11.
Yeah,
is insanely harder. That's the like the parallel with white belt and black belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why the white belt is so hard that stage, because you need to manage a lot of things which you are not equipped with. That you need to manage, for example, like time management, right? Self-time management. This is a huge one. This is, if I will put a stamp behind any skill that you need to acquire to be successful, is time management. Like if you look at any guy who wants, like, why you're not in the gym? Oh, I don't have time. So they didn't figure out this. Once you are able to understand what's noise and what's important, prioritize this, rank these situations, and whatever is after place number 3, just remove. Like, I don't care who is number 4. Let's talk after 3 months. Okay.
Nice.
That's it.
Darwinistic.
That's the ability, and you are the one who is in charge to say no to things. Otherwise, you can make it. Is too much. The volume out there, coming to you every day. We are bombarded, literally bombarded with information, with opportunities. With, imagine
Instagram.
This is another big one, right? Like whenever you go and compare yourself in this journey with the perfect picture on Instagram, you need to be aware that these guys, when they post, I'm going to do another one, but just the flow. You see a perfect guy, right? A picture on Instagram, 7,000 likes, whatever. That guy is right after training, during the fasting, maybe 2 days, whatever he did it, right? In top of that, put $20 on Fiverr or any Photoshop expert, bring that to another level, right? So you are competing with certain stuff that, why would you do that? Is not necessary. Like, just look at yourself yesterday and beat that, and you are good.
So I 80% agree with you, but to be honest, when I see someone on Instagram doing very well, I'm not hating on them, but the next natural question is, why not me? And to the extent that I get slightly pissed off as a result, and that motivates me into action, I'm just using whatever tool I have on myself. Okay, the ideal situation is not having to need that outside external push. You know, the ideal situation is when you are internally, you know, motivated all the time or disciplined all the time, right? But we're all human. So I just use everything I can. If I look on Instagram and I see someone flying business class with their wife and their 5 kids, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I want that. And sometimes, you know, I'm on the couch and I'm like, okay, back to learning German or something. So I think it's a balance. I think in its place, it can be useful. But when you over attribute to it and don't understand what you're looking at, then you can make yourself miserable. Because there's always another vacation, right? There's always someone taller.
There's nothing bad or wrong, but I will tell you, the process that you find difficulties is because you look for motivation. When you look for motivation, you are already on the wrong path.
It should be discipline, in my opinion.
Motivation is a spark that goes in exactly how it occurs. It goes. That's it, and it doesn't stay with you during the journey. Like you can have spark of motivation during, I don't know, you listen to music in your car, or you saw this picture on Instagram, or you're inspired, but you're inspired 2 seconds. And then you go like, oh, I want this motivation, this 5 seconds momentum. Then the movie ends, and you are literally in position to, you know, take the pre-workout, go to the gym, drive 10 minutes, or you need to do it, right? So that's not motivation, that's discipline.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
I think we're coming up in the last few minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Give me, in detail if you can, what is the next 3 years for you?
Well, definitely I'm super happy with my version right now. I'm all in ICN Web3 Media. I want to build great things in this industry. I want to hang out with the biggest guys in the room. I want to create opportunities with them. I want to build and have impact. And that will be the case for the next 5 years for sure.
Nice. I like it. Dani, thank you so much. Great talk.
I appreciate so much. Thank you for having me.
And you got me jazzed up, which is fantastic.
I appreciate
All right, thank you so much. Super.